Previously on Stargate Atlantis.
This is my E30 M3 project.
I said, hold on.
An S65 engine in it.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
With a DCT gearbox, which is...
A DCT gearbox?
Yes.
I knew something special about it, you know? I ran upstairs, I had to run.
Getting serious now then.
Last time you see this colour, I hope.
How long have these been up here?
It's got to have been a couple of years since we last fitted them to the car. But yeah, they're going to Gaz's now.
Ooh, exciting. Everything's coming down.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm researching the cost of a carbon bonnet. I'm not too fussed about the boot lid weight, but because the hinges have been cut off the back of the car for the boot lid, I might do a single skin carbon lid there as well.
That'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, weight wise, I think having a little bit less up front would probably help offset having.
So is that a stock bonnet then?
Yeah, stock bonnet. Same for all E30s, but the boot lid's different. So the trunk lid in some countries is different for the E30 M3.
The lighting is pleasant up here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
We haven't actually had a look at all of this before.
No, it's been hiding. So we've done various little bits and bobs and we always forget to film. Well actually, if I'm being entirely honest, I always forget to film.
And also, we've had this project longer than we've been filming for.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been an ongoing thing for some time and there's so many levels to it as well. This is kind of hopefully where it all starts to come together and we start to see a car emerge that's not green.
Or so you're painting these?
These are, I don't like these. So, because of the wheel, we've actually extended the wheelbase of the car, so the aperture for the wheel is further forward in this arch than it would be on a normal E30 M3. It would normally be about there, the arch would. But I actually don't like this. I think that is not the look that I want. It looks too beefy, too aftermarket, so I'm going to try and make these very subtly different to standard E30 M3 arches, and then they'll be painted obviously. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to reduce the thickness of that, but we need all the wheel clearance that we've got here. I'm just going to have to change the profile, cut a section out, probably just do some carbon fibre sheet from the back and see how we get on. But obviously, when I say I'm doing that, I'm going to direct it.
How light are these?
They're really light, yeah, so they're probably less than a kilo, I would have thought. So again, that helps offset a little bit of the engine weight. Although we don't actually know the difference of the S65 and the original S14 motor.
You never had one to weigh?
No, and we've pushed it back as far as we can into the bulkhead a little bit as well. So yeah, and we've got things like the carbon fibre dash covered in dust as well. So
that's
just taking that.
Light.
Yeah, it's pretty light. That's probably about, I don't know, kilo and a half, maybe 2 kilos. And that will be, we just got to cut around the cage. And once we've done that neatly, the top half of it I'll probably do. I'll probably get that flocked, I would have thought. Keep some of the carbon. Yeah. Our gauge is actually mounted on the steering column that we've fabricated, so we don't really need this for much, and I probably won't be able to reach it because my seating position is quite far back in.
What, are you running a Diddy dash or something?
Yeah, so it's got an AIM dash, a nice TFT dash going on it.
Colour or?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this was a project that I started working on. Again, I don't, because the bonnet matters to me. Having a standard looking bonnet, standard look to that part of it matters so much. I cut up the standard airbox because I need to reduce the height of it. And we changed the trumpets. These are obviously a lot shorter than standard, so it should make it, hopefully it will reduce the torque a little bit and give it a bit more high end as well. We'll have to see how that comes out in the tune, whether that works or not. But
is that all guesswork, or is that
it's all
some
guesswork
research?
for now, but basically I've created this job because I don't want a bonnet bulge. So basically what we're going to do now is I've got the other part to it here, which is a frame. I know the height limitations, and I'm going to probably just see whether we can make a carbon fibre screw down panel here.
Okay.
So if I do need to change the length of the trumpets in the future, I'll be able to do that.
Why do you need the airbox?
Yeah, well, you need it for an air filter, but also you lose power without the airbox.
Okay. Because open, they would look cool, open.
Yeah, but it wouldn't look so cool when it's in pieces, having gravel gone through it, like with the 86. That would suck.
And what else then? So now you've got fiberglass rear body panels?
Yeah, so we've got bumper, rear bumper here, which needs quite a lot of work because the exhausters that we've made, which is basically using an E30 M3 standard back box. So we're going to see how that goes, see whether we can make this look nice. And then the front bumper is just another fiberglass panel with a splitter on it. I'm keeping steel doors. They've already been done quite nicely with the carbon fibre mirrors.
Are they genuine end sport mirrors?
I'm not sure what those are actually. I'm sure somebody will tell me. Yeah. The old owner bought them already. So.
Why keeping steel doors? Just so they shot properly?
It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I don't like the idea of in a crash something coming through a door. I know it can come through a steel door, but it just feels a bit more secure.
Have you got door bars on it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's got door bars, but they're not like the NASCAR style ones that we do normally, because it's a cage that came in the shell originally. It wasn't one that I designed, so we're kind of limited by that a little bit. But it'll be absolutely fine. I'm just for now keeping those, and also I think it's very hard to find E30 carbon doors that are any good, because the fit is also an issue.
Yeah.
We've also had that a few times with the composite panels we've used on the 86 before. So I just want it to feel like a bit more of a normal car for the seals to work. Stuff like that. And then the rest of the stuff I'm taking is just trim panels. So the grills, these need sprucing up.
Are you going to leave?
So, yeah.
Leaving that silver?
Yeah, but obviously cleaned up.
Yeah.
So
or chrome even, not silver.
The original motorsport style. That's kind of a vague part of the look I'm going for with it. And it's going to have a few posh bits on it, but hopefully it won't externally look massively different to an E30 M3
other than the colour
of the era. Other than the colour, but you don't know what it is,
no.
Rich.
Happy?
No, I hate it. It's absolutely
So there was
awesome.
a massive debate in the office in the build up to this getting painted, whether you should go black or blue.
Yeah. Black like my heart or blue like my Porsche GT3. Yeah. It was a battle. It really was a battle because I always like black cars. I generally have black road cars. So there's a bit of a theme. So that was the original plan for this, for it to be black.
Just because it looks awesome.
Well, it does, but you really struggle with black cars and photographing them, videoing them, etc., etc. They don't stand out very well. And actually, the great thing about this blue is, as well as it being the same as my 9972 GT3 that I had, which I absolutely adored, it's actually the total inverse colour to Driftworks orange as well.
So if we just inverted a photo of the Corolla on Photoshop, it would
pretty much end up like that. Yeah,
cool.
It's really cool. So kind of an idea about it being kind of the track division of Driftworks.
Yeah.
Because it is, as we need to remind people, not a drift car.
Say what?
It's not a drift car?
It's going to have Driftworks down the side of it.
I'm sure you will get it sideways at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult not to.
Yeah.
If it ever gets built.
So yeah. this has come back from Gaz last week. Been too busy to do anything on it last week.
Yeah.
So you're about to split it, I guess, because there's nothing in it, is there? This
is kind of the sad bit, because it's come back looking like this, absolutely awesome. All of the bodywork's pretty much done, except for so the side skirts are in the car wrapped up. Those are really nicely done. We've got one bit of work left to do with the back bumper. Once we do an exhaust for it.
I guess that was one of the initial things you tried was an E90 exhaust with the quad.
Yeah, I'm changing my mind on it. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Is the thing. So it needs to have not a quad exit, basically. It needs to come out on one side of the car as a twin, kind of a little bit like the standard E30 M3. So I've got that to do once we've fabricated the exhaust, or refabricated it, sorry Craig. And then the boot lid as well, because I'm using a single skin carbon boot lid, but with a big spoiler on it.
Yeah.
So
well, you say a big spoiler.
Well, not compared to you. Not compared to your yellow monstrosity. But no, it's going to basically need to have supports built. So I'm going to build something light out of aluminium. Probably going to mill something up so that hopefully the boot lid kind of slots in, and then the spoiler has something to provide downforce.
Because I knew the boot lid was going to be light, but I picked it up from the painters on Saturday, and it almost flew away in my hand. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's single skin, but that does mean you then have a massive issue with keeping it on the car. Because it doesn't hold its shape very well. So we're also going to have as well as the spoiler being mounted correctly, the wing, it's probably going to have to have at least 3 fixings at the front of it as well, because this will lift and speed, and hopefully the car will be pretty fast. So.
This is your fuel tank.
Yeah, it's exciting.
How do you fill it?
I haven't done that bit yet.
Oh right. Okay.
Don't worry. Yeah, so we've got rid of all of the filler and everything, because we now have these fantastic carbon fibre rear quarter panels, which are basically total sacrilege. I chopped the arches off a genuine E30 M3.
But why?
Why would you do such a thing? Because I wanted E30 M3 style arches, but to accommodate much wider wheels. So we've got 10s with a pretty decent offset there,
and good tyres as well.
17 by 10s, aren't they? I think.
Something
I can't
like
remember the ET. But yeah, basically one of the things that I wanted to do was pull it out, but without having horrible massive steps.
So at the start of the video, we showed people the carbon fibre front ones.
Oh yeah. So I think I mentioned what the plan was with this was to basically, I didn't like these. These are carbon fibre arches. I didn't really like the way that they kind of came out massively, and they just didn't look like E30 M3. And the whole concept for this car is for it to look subtle in blue, maybe. But yeah, the lines were all wrong for me. So we've remade these basically, having a much smaller step, more like the standard ones, and then the rear arches are basically made to match as well. So there's a carbon fibre with basically supports inside. The metal's been built out in the inner arch to basically support up against this. Not really, no. But yeah, and again, basically to get the original-ish lines to the car. Was the idea. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. Gaz has done an absolutely incredible job. The fixings are all temporary at the moment, so these will be much nicer black aluminium fixings and stuff. We've got obviously some trim panels to go back on, little bits and pieces.
He's done a good job on the cage as well, hasn't he? Because the last time we had a car painted, the cage, when the Corolla came back.
Yeah, the 86 was a disaster, but that was a whole different story. Yeah, and that was not painted by Gaz. Gaz is someone who really understands cars. He's got an E30 himself, a normal one that he's building into a drift car, or he was building into a drift car.
Now he's got a 1J1 series. Yeah, he's got lots of things going on.
But yeah, so the cage has been painted really well. Most of the fabrication's done. The only thing we might have to do is drill an occasional fixing into the interior to mount pipe work and stuff like that. But yeah, unfortunately, this is as beautiful as it looks. The next stage is to disassemble all of the body panel, because it basically needs the important stuff to go back in it. So it needs the engine drivetrain, and when we can build up the interior, sort out ECU, ABS, brake lines, etc. So
it's going to be a bespoke wiring loom, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's lots and lots of work to do to this, but unfortunately, yeah, we have to temporarily say goodbye to this amazing...
Ah, the grille is black.
Yeah, because it was chrome had all fallen off. So I think I'm going to get a new one.
Oh, you are going to go back to chrome?
Yeah, it needs a chrome grille. It doesn't look right to me.
And what about the badge? You're going to buy a proper blue and white one?
Proper BMW badge.
These are nice as well.
Yeah.
There's so many little details that you don't quite notice.
Yeah, the flush mount bit of it. So these still need adjusting. But yeah, they're... I can't do that one-handed. Yeah.
Ah, smooth. This is so weird.
Yeah.
I know it's like...
Very unusual.
Just... he's done a nice job on this.
Yeah, so again, the carbon, end up going for the carbon fibre bonnet. But yeah.
Did you ask Gaz to paint that like that?
Yeah, so just a little detail.
Make his life that a little bit harder.
Yeah, and yeah, lovely engine bay. We're about to fill it with crap.
So there's still the airbox to do, isn't there? Which I guess he needs to do a skin on.
Yeah, the airbox, but I guess we'll show that as and when we build these bits and bobs now, because hopefully it'll come together a bit quicker than the
last 3 years
stage, because it's taken 3 years to get to this stage, because as usual, sort of stuff gets in the way. There's some of our other cars are prioritised over this, but actually because I'm not really doing any competition this year, this is my main focus, to get this ready, turn it into a real car.
So I think that wraps up this part of the E30 build. Yep. Next part, well,
soon,
hopefully.
No. We'll see you soon.
See you later.